Hello, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Paul. I'm a science fiction and fantasy writer based out here in Los Angeles. I work in marketing in the video game and esports industry, and I've just put in a full day, but you know what? The work doesn't stop because we have a writing vlog to film. Writing vlog number 2, in fact. If you tuned into the first one, it really outlined and cataloged sort of my plans for the next 2 years when it comes to writing, releasing my first debut fantasy novel, its sequel, as well as a series of cozy fantasy short stories over the next year, combining those into an anthology and releasing them all for free here on YouTube as well as on my website. Which brings us back to this first real vlog in this series, because while being a writer is obviously about writing and editing and all that great stuff, there's a lot of other stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and that's really what this first video is tackling. Because I have an audiobook I need to finish producing, I have a website that I need to update, and I've got to finish working with my designer on the cover for this first cozy fantasy short stories, the first tale, in Tales from the Tavern, which is the first audiobook and short story, first piece of writing, first anything that I'm going to be releasing to the public, and I'm super excited about it. Again, if you're interested in following along both on the business and marketing side, the behind the scenes stuff, the writing itself, be sure to follow along. Hit that subscribe button and like this as well. It does really make a huge difference in terms of appeasing the old YouTube algorithm. And yeah, we're gonna go through it. Again, it's already been a full work day. I'm tired, but I've got to continue to work on this audiobook. There's a lot that goes into this process. In fact, if you guys actually find this interesting, be sure to let me know down in the comments. I have worked as a professional audio engineer as well. So I'm not gonna go super in-depth sort of in this video on really what I'm working on, but if that's something you might find interesting in the future, I might do a whole video that sort of breaks down my process, because while this is certainly an audio book, it's really an audio drama. There are multiple voice actors, ambient effects, Foley work, sound design, music, custom music that I'm going to be producing for this as well. So there is a lot of work that's going into this. And again, I also have right now a professional website, one that I really focused on when I was job hunting. I've been at my job for a year now, so I feel pretty comfortable transitioning that over into more of an author blog, setting up my newsletter as well, my signing list, my mailing list, which is how people are going to be able to download the free PDF and ebook for these short stories over the next year. I cannot wait. I'm super excited. But as we get into this, I feel like I need to talk a little bit about these first short stories. One of the things I talked about in my last video is really how I feel like there aren't a lot of opportunities in the author tube sphere to actually sample and see what it's like to actually read a lot of the writing from these authors. A lot of people, especially if they're pursuing traditional publishing, keep stuff pretty close to the chest. They don't want to reveal anything that they're working on, but that also means you don't really get a chance to actually read what their writing is like. And I'm not personally a huge fan of that. I want you early on in this process to say, hey, do I like this person's writing or not? And be able to make the decision early if you want to follow along on this journey. So Tales from the Tavern is really the first step in that. It started as a pure writing exercise and evolved in something that I'm super proud of. It is cozy fantasy, but this first short story is certainly the least cozy of the bunch. It really is about sort of setting up this world, setting up this key group of characters. There's sort of 3 main characters that will follow along over the course of these short stories. And it really sort of sets up their interaction and the space itself. But it does have a pretty large action set piece in it. And while yes, for me, the hallmark of a cozy fantasy book is the romanticization of everyday activities, I also do want to show that there can sort of be a little bit more stakes involved. The good guys still come out on top and there's still a happy ending. So that's really what this first short story is about, specifically, assuming I don't get dive bombed by a hummingbird while I'm filming this. So you know what? The light is fading. It's going fast. I got work to do. So follow along. Let's join in. I'm going to go work on this audiobook, and then over the next couple of days, we're going to focus on getting this website up to scratch. All of the editing, the proofing is done. I have got to do one final edit, and then we're going to release this first short story, and I can't wait. I'm so very excited, and we may even have a cover reveal at the end of this video, so stick around. so we're back. It's been, candidly, a few weeks. It has been, since the first part of this video, it has been a very busy couple of weeks for work. I work in a rather seasonal business right now, and we've had a ton of live events happening, which has taken up a lot of my time, but it has been a ton of fun. I'm going to hop on a plane tomorrow to Texas, so I need to get a video out. It's been a hot minute. I've been doing a bunch of reading, but like not always stuff that's appropriate for the channel, and of course, Wind and Truth has been very much a dominant factor in all of my available free time. But we're back to working on this. Been working on a ton of different stuff as well, sort of going into this. And as I teased at the start of this video, which for you will have been a few seconds, but for me has been some time, we do have a cover reveal to be able to tease at the end of this. So I am quite excited about this as we're diving into the audiobook a little bit here. So this is one thing that I definitely want to talk about a little bit. And if you folks are interested more about the bigger, broader process, definitely let me know, because I could definitely see myself doing a whole video just on this. So if we take a look at our screen here, I work in Cubase. When we talk about these sort of things, we talk about our DAW or digital audio workstation. This is what I use. I've been using Cubase for a couple of decades now, honestly. God, has it been that long? At least, no, a decade. One single decade. And this is something I'm super comfortable, familiar with, but honestly, you can produce your own audiobook at home for not a whole lot of money using a lot of free tools. I'm not going to dive into it too much here, but just for those who are curious, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. So I basically sort of divvied this up, like I mentioned before. This is more of an audio drama, which means we do have multiple voice actors here. So I have sort of the main narration channel, and then each of the characters actually broke out as their own track, including things like yells, which would have different sort of levels of things like compression, as an example. On my sort of main narration, as you can see, I have a lot of different effects that are processing that's happening to it. Everything from compression to equalization, de-essing. This whole plugin, its whole job is literally just to remove mouth clicks, which I'm not going to play the audio for you of what it's removing, but it's gross. Let me put it that way. So I went and actually recorded a lot of this myself as sort of the main narration and a couple of the side characters. But sort of the main character here, the main POV, I actually worked with a great voice actor out of Scotland. So I'm going to play a little bit of this for you so that you can actually hear sort of what this sounds like. From above, reviewing a sheaf of parchment that seemed to grow larger every time Tiller looked, the schematics unfolding into a series of intricate panels and addenda.
Don't suppose you'd be willing to swap for a bit?
Tiller asked, adjusting his crooked spectacles.
I recall offering to help with...
He gestured around him.
Whatever this is, but so far, it seems to be less about helping and more about doing.
So you kind of get a little bit of a sense for it there. There's a couple different things happening. We do have sort of our ambient audio that's happening in the background, things like the forest and interior sounds. We'll have things like knocks and bumps and door screeches and clanging of metal, as well as music that's being added to this too. So like I said, there's a whole lot that's sort of going on with this particular process. And again, if you folks are interested, let me know down in the comments and I'll sort of walk through my workflow for this. It's not the absolute best workflow if you're looking at this in a vacuum. I sort of record this in a walk-in closet, candidly. And it doesn't really, it's not great. Like ideally I'd have this whole setup somewhere where I could do all the audio, sort of myself on the fly. Jeff Hayes, who does Dungeon Crawler Carl, is a really fantastic example. He actually live streams himself, recording the videos, and it's sick. It's so much fun to watch. Just such a great actor, and really, really cool to watch that process. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be working on for the next little bit. The goal right now, like I said, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow, is to try and get as much of this done as I can and then release this, what will be next week for you when you're seeing this. So my hope is on Wednesday of next week that this will go up. What day is this? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday of next week is the hope for this. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm putting up on the channel, and I'm also hoping to get out a Wind and Truth review in this process as well. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm definitely going to be reading it, hopefully finishing it in my travels over the next couple of days. So yeah, this is really where I'm at right now. Like I said, sort of finalizing everything for the website. The cover is totally done. I'm very excited about that. So that'll be an exciting thing to check out here. And really, that's it. This is just a quick sort of simple vlog to sort of go through everything that I'm working on here. And I cannot wait to share this audio book with you all. It's looking like it's going to be an hour and a half long. And I'm also told that it's not a short story, in fact, and is a novelette. It is between a short story and a novella. So it is a novelette coming in at 12,500 words for those who are curious. And I've actually been able to do some writing the last couple of weeks. We are almost 10,000 words into short story number 2. I didn't have like quite the most over the top November writing month. Did about 14,000 words in November and then have done 6,000 or so words so far in December. So it's been about 20,000 words in the last month, which is okay, pretty good for me. I'm not usually the most prolific writer, especially during these busy times at work, but it's definitely been a bunch of fun, and I can't wait to continue to show this stuff. Yeah, the plan for this one is March of next year for short story number 2. So I'm really stoked. And I've also been dabbling in a lit RPG project just because I've been enjoying lit RPG so much recently. Putting some work together about a project for that, but I can't be doing too many things at once here. I do want to really focus on this new adult fantasy novel. It's totally storyboarded, start to finish. The duology is pretty well locked in and planned. I got some amazing art commissioned for it as well that I'll show in an upcoming video. I'm very, very excited about that. So yeah, this is it. Again, if you're not subscribed and you're really interested or you're curious at all about what this first novelette is going to look like, be sure to like and subscribe and follow along. It's going to be coming out, like I said, next week, middle of December, definitely later than I intended, but life is as it does and has definitely made this a bit of a busier process. So here we are. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this video, and I'm going to leave you with some lovely sounds from the tavern. And again, hopefully you all enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.